have another special guest for you guys. He goes by the name of nabeel. I would say he's kind of like a self-improvement, self-help YouTuber, but you guys will have to figure that out for yourselves. He has a channel that you can check out, which I'll put in the description down below. Without further ado, man, you can introduce yourself. Nabeel, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm happy to be here. I guess you could call me a self-improvement YouTuber. I'm still very early on with my process with the channel, and so still trying to figure out what type of videos that I want to make. But just the guy with the camera making whatever comes to mind. That's how I would define it, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's like all of us, I guess, when you really boil it down.
Yeah.
How'd you get started doing YouTube videos? How'd you get into this kind of this sphere, I guess? This is my
Base, yeah.
question for you.
Well, so I started my first YouTube channel. I was like, I don't even know, like 12 or 13 or something like that. I just made like skits with my sister.
Oh yeah.
Um, like awful videos is just trash. But I don't know, man. I feel like I wanted to do YouTube for a while. It was just something that was kind of there in my mind that I didn't really like take action on. And then I met Hamza when he had like 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I think everybody watching this probably knows him, but I formed a relationship with him, and like he kind of encouraged it to me, and it was something that I was just like, why not? Like I might as well. Like there's nothing holding me back from doing it. So fuck it, let's just start doing it. And yeah, I've been making videos now since February. So just a few months, still very early on, still a lot of room for improvement. Very excited to grow, but I've been enjoying it.
Most definitely. So how long ago? I didn't even know about the Hamza stuff. How long ago? Because I haven't really really watched Hamza that much. If I'm gonna
Okay.
be like completely like honest with you, I don't really. I
I
haven't
feel
watched like a full video
I
to
feel
be
like you
honest.
watch a lot of like Sneeko videos and
Yeah,
stuff that
y- yeah. I kind of like Sneaker is probably one of my main inspirations in terms of channel, like just YouTube video. Like he inspired me to do this type of shit. But I
yeah.
have like so many inspirations and stuff, but he's probably one of the main ones I would say. But yeah,
Okay.
like Hamza, he doesn't. I haven't really sat down and consumed his content properly, like the same way I would as like everyone else. You know what I mean? So how long ago
Fair.
did you start like talking? How did you guys like meet? When did you guys start coming into communication? Was it recently? Like,
Yeah, no, it was like over a year ago by now, probably. Like he had like 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I just reached out to him because he posted on a subreddit. I think dopamine detox. I don't even remember, but
mm,
I just watched his videos, and to be honest, bro, like this is gonna sound funny, but they're like I'm a brown guy, and there's not a lot of brown guys that I know that are like very social, that like go out and party and like pull and like just like kind of like live a similar lifestyle to me. And so like whenever I see something like that, I always like want to like reach out to them and talk to them. So I literally just like DM'd him when he had 2,000 subscribers because I felt like him and I have a lot in common, and I just fucked with his videos early on, just like who I perceived him to be as a person from like how he presented himself. And then we hopped on a Zoom, we just kind of talked, vibed, and from there just built a relationship.
that's like elite. I love that. You love to hear it. So he blew up kind of recently. Then I thought he was a bit more like he had been here for a lot longer than he has. So it was only like a
Yeah,
year or two ago.
he blew up what like I think this time last year was when he blew up. And
Oh, really?
I met him February 2021 when he had 2,000, and I think like June, July 2021 was when he picked up steam with like one of his older videos. And then he had like another blow up, I think like more recently, like 6 months ago. But yeah, man, he's doing bits. He's
There
doing
you
bits
go.
for sure.
Yeah, I have noticed that like it's when you make videos, it's not like a we're so quick to judge things and pass things off, especially with like the TikTok age, the Instagram age. We want shit to go viral and we expect it to go viral like the next day. But I've noticed a lot more on YouTube. Me coming from a
Yeah.
background of I used to have like an Instagram account. I don't really fuck with TikTok. Like lucky that I'm not born in that era, honestly. Um, but
How old, if you don't
I'm
mind me
20,
asking?
20 years old. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Um,
that pretty much is TikTok era, isn't it? Because I'm
uh,
20.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is, but I think it's more of a Gen Z thing, honestly. Like kids, like, because like when I was 12 years old, it was YouTube. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
probably same for you as well. But then
Yeah.
these 12-year-olds, they're that section of the demographic is majority, like majority that kind of age, and that's kind of when you get
Right.
introduced. That's when you start getting into it, really. And these are the kind
Yeah.
of things that stick with you. But these kids are all used to shit blowing up like the day of, or algorithm just going hard. But I noticed with YouTube it takes like it can take up to months on end, like 6 months, a year, 2 years for videos to actually start gaining traction.
See, it's
So
interesting to say that. I think that like with a lot of YouTubers that have blown up, that's exactly what happened. They post a video and then like months down the line, it like pick up. For the two videos that did really well for me and picked up a lot of steam, like I got like 3,000 views, 2,000 views, something like that. They did it immediately. And I
really,
thought that that was kind of yeah, dude. Like it was like I posted it, and then like 12 hours later, it just like it was like the first video that really did well was this video that was like cultivate and it is what it is mentality.
put
It
it
was
up.
like a 3 minute video. It was 3 minute video. It was just me talking for the camera. And usually my videos did like about 500 to 1,000, but that video did like, I think 4,000, 5,000. It was just like right away. So that was cool. But yeah, I have heard that it takes a few months for videos to pick up.
Yeah,
So we'll
there you
see.
go. Yeah, it's usually like if you're a good content creator, I've noticed that it usually takes a year for you to get recognized from start to, but that obviously that doesn't really take into account all the growth that you have to do in terms of
Yeah.
learning how to edit or hiring an editor, videography stuff, all the kind of the things that make it all mesh together and the things that make it look like effortless, you know?
Yeah, I know the stage that we're in is just kind of like purgatory. Like we're just like putting in a lot of work. We're not really having too much results yet, but then you just stick with it,
Yeah,
and content is good. Then it's just going to pick up eventually.
yeah, 100%. So in terms of you and your channel, my friend, what are your kind of dreams, goals, ambitions? What is your kind of mission statement, I guess, if you want to put it like that?
Yeah, man, dude, I'm super all over the place, to be honest with you. Like I enjoy YouTube. I like it. It's something that I'm kind of doing for fun more than anything else right now. Like I just enjoy creating videos and I enjoy inspiring. I think that like it like if I'm not inspiring, if I'm not like sharing my voice and not like being a source of inspiration, I'm just like not living my best life.
Mm,
So I really value inspiring and helping others because for me, like my story, just to go into it really quickly, like I was 50 pounds overweight my entire life and I lost weight and I kind of like went into a different direction in my life. And so I really enjoy sharing my story, sharing my experiences, sharing my thoughts, and then having people reflect and bounce back ideas and stuff like that, like comments and DMs on Instagram. Like those are the things that keep me going. So I love hearing that shit. So for me, it's really just something I'm doing for fun right now. And I want to be more consistent with it. Like daily uploads would be sick.
mm,
I've done daily uploads for a period of time and then it just like kind of lose steam on that. But it's just something I'm doing for fun that maybe might be something that I do more seriously in the future, but I'm enjoying it so far.
100%. No, that's, I feel like that's kind of the best place to be, not really expecting anything from it, not having anything too,
Yeah.
not obsessing over it, which is something that like maybe like a pitfall that I might fall into sometimes. Like you wake up every morning and you check the shit and you're just like, please, can I
Dude,
have?
I do that all the time, bro. I
Yeah,
keep going on my YouTube studio like fucking every few hours and just like refreshing, refresh. It's a bad habit, bro.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I feel like it'll benefit. I'll take
It
the,
feels good. It feels good when you have growth. So
yeah, big
yeah,
for
natural.
sure. So you said
Yeah.
that you went through like some sort of journey yourself. Do you want to talk about that in terms of how you got out of it? Maybe things that people could take away from it? Because like
Yeah,
every time I
definitely,
do
dude.
these interviews, just before you quickly start, like I always imagine the audience of just kids that were you, but like 5 years in the past watching it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Um, okay, man. So like I like overweight pretty much my entire life. Just kind of quiet, more so like in high school, I was like pretty like to the books. And I still had friends. I was pretty social guy, but I was just like very much like not really like living in tune with like how I wanted to live. I was just very much like kind of to the side. And then when I got to university after first year, I just had a change in mindset where I was just like, you need to be more positive because I feel like I was a very negative guy. Like I feel like I just perceived everything very negatively. And so I had my first year university behind me and it was like summertime and I was just like reflecting on life and stuff. And I had like some like good conversations with some cool people and they kind of like inspired me. And it was just like a mindset shift initially where I was just like, there's so much to appreciate with the life that I have, with the opportunity that I have. Cause like, I'm I'm Canadian. I go to university in Canada. This was my thinking at the time, but I was just like, I have so much opportunity, man. There's like people around the world that literally are starving right now, that
Mm.
don't have access to food, water, that would kill to have the life that I have. And I think that like when I realized that, that was when I was like, okay, like my life, like a lot of people would want my life, and I'm not living it the way that I should be. I'm not putting in time and effort and intention into it. Like I'm overweight, I have bad habits, all these different things. And so from that place of perspective, I went into kind of a self-improvement direction, and I lost like 50 pounds over 5 6 months, and then started getting into like meditation and like reading books and stuff like that. Started going out, being more social, putting myself out there. And then I joined the varsity cheer team at my school. I joined a frat the semester after, and I just got like really involved in my school and stuff, and just kind of like changed my circumstances from there. So that was like the initial phase. Like that was like the weight loss journey. But then like that's just a segment of my journey. Like I had that, and then I just got way too deep into the partying aspect of things, and I just let self-improvement to the side and stuff. So it was like a gradual process with ups and downs and stuff like that. But I've been pretty focused now for the past few months. So back on that
That
grind.
sounds, yeah, it sounds elite, man. Do you reckon you came to that kind of epiphany or that kind of transition phase where you were like, damn, I want to change my life by yourself? Did you have like outside like
Yeah, dude, no, it
environmental
was,
influences?
yeah, it was definitely like I had a good conversation with one of my really close friends, Hamza, not Hamza the YouTuber, but another Hamza.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
we just like talked a lot, man. We talked like that summer, we talked 5 hours at a time. And I lived with them, so we just had all these conversations. I think it was also just like the age thing too, man, because I was like, I just turned 19 at
Mm.
that point. I was just like, man, like I'm not a kid anymore. Like I need to like start to like be more present in my life, and take more action, and not just waste my life away, because it just comes once, man. Like you're only gonna live once, so you can't waste your time like that. I think it was really that for me.
1000%. And that's why I resonated really strongly with the kind of self-help community,
Yeah,
specifically on YouTube, because it's literally just that, like as a community that you don't have to even have really around you physically, that you can
yeah,
come to and kind of speak about these ideas. That's why that's the beauty of it. Because there's so many, like, especially young men that aren't taught the right thing in terms of, normal education, so like school and stuff, but
yeah,
also just in like the societal, social culture that we're like in,
yeah.
social media and all that shit. It just, all the things that are being promoted aren't necessarily beneficial. And I think you probably come across that like many, many times. But that's
Yeah,
why I
man.
do love this space.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's just like there's like what, like 8 billion people, 7 billion people in the world, and everybody has their own perspective, everybody has their own perception, and everybody puts, their own perception out there. And so it's difficult to like know the right path to take when you're young. And just traditionally, most people are not really into self-help and self-improvement, and so they
Mm.
might not really value those things as much, and just being thrown into it, they could go into the wrong path. So especially like I think that when you're young, you should definitely try and emphasize growth and self-improvement.
100%, man. And I think it's because like there's a couple of factors. I think one of them is that the family unit is kind of being attacked societally for whatever reason. It's diminishing that kind of traditional, call it maybe conservative, I don't know, but that mindset of keeping the family close, it's kind of
Yeah,
diminishing, and there's less strong father figures that can impose these, beneficial teachings to the youth. And that's why they're coming to places like this to talk with people like you and improve their own lives. And I feel like that's like such a beautiful thing. It's just one of the greatest things that we have come up with in our modern age as a response to all the bullshit, because there is a fucking shit ton of bullshit.
man, we are going through such an interesting time for real, man. Like
Mm,
the type of lives that we're living right now are so different than 50, 60, 70 years ago. Not even that long, like 30 years ago, man. Like we have phones, you could literally do anything with these, and they're like
yeah.
have data, like anywhere you go, you could be like on the internet, you're connected. So it's just like with the rise of technology, social media, there's definitely like a different type of life that we're living now that we've never lived before, and we don't really know how to navigate the right way. So Yeah, I'm glad I try to be like a positive influence as best as I can, and I think that everybody should be that has the platform. But yeah, we're definitely an interesting time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the positive influence thing is interesting too because it's almost like you gotta like, well, at least in my perspective, I'm trying to strike a balance between being polarizing enough that people like have a reaction to the things that you say, but also
Yeah,
reinforcing it with positive beliefs and imbuing some sort of something beneficial that people can take home and ruminate on. You know what I mean? So how
yeah,
do you reckon how does that fare with like maybe the content that you produce, and does that ever cross your mind at all?
yeah, man. I think the idea of there's a level of pressure being a role model type figure, and I think that like with the content that I'm producing, I'm giving advice in a lot of ways. I'm kind of like sharing from like a position of insight, and people are looking at it and drawing inspiration through it. So with that, there's like a level of responsibility, but I think that the way that I'm trying to tailor my videos and what I keep saying is that I'm just a person. Like
Mm,
I just share what I think is right, what works for me. And if it helps you, then you could like use it and apply it. But if it doesn't, then like, do whatever you want. Like I don't have all the answers. I'm literally just a person trying to figure life out just as you are.
yeah.
And, nobody really knows for sure. But I try and like keep that level of humility in all my videos and constantly like remind people about that. So
Yeah,
that's it kind of.
100%. Yeah, but people really love to pedestalize things, whether it's women, money, people that they watch on YouTube. They love to feel like there's people inferior and superior to them, and maybe there is. I don't know, but I
I
feel
love
like
that.
it's sorry.
Why do you think that that's something that why do you think that happens?
I think a lot of it is because, and I'm not going to blame it on social media, but I'm going to use it as something to explain it. Social media is like the mirror that we've used to. It's like something that we use to look in the mirror as a culture. And
Okay.
unfortunately, the thing that the mirror is showing us is that we have very low self value, very low self worth. A lot of times it's scarcity mindset. All these things that kind of represent in different aspects of life, whether it be business, whether it be working out, whether it be dating women, all that stuff. We
Yeah.
like to feel as though well, not we like to, we automatically step into comparison when we see something that's better or worse than us in our perceived thought. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting, man.
Like it's interesting to me how Hamza labels himself as like a cult leader because that's what people kind of want. Like that is why someone like XXX Tentacion was so impactful. It's because people are all projecting all the things that they want to be like, or the things that they are maybe scared of personally into one person, and seeing whatever they want to see inside. And it's like every celebrity. That's what every
Uh,
public image has to deal, public figure has to deal with. It's just very interesting, and I feel like I'm
I
here to
think I
kind
think
of
it is really interesting, man, because I like for real, like there are people that follow celebrities like so strongly and they just
mm,
like follow every single move of theirs. And yeah, XXX Tentacion is a great example. Even like Kanye West, man. Like I know you're probably a Kanye fan. I'm a big Kanye fan too, but like man, like people like go crazy over Kanye. They literally follow everything that he does. And even with Hamza, there's people that do the same. And it's interesting about the human condition that people have this like strong tendency to follow.
yeah. It's funny
Um,
because like I'll do a video and people will comment. I'll use like a reference to something or other, and people will comment, "Oh, that's unoriginal," but then they'll have like Kanye or X as their profile picture. You know what I mean? It's like they
yeah,
base their the people that they interact, the people that they follow on their public image, because that's what it is, right? Your any account or profile that you have is a representation of you. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Interesting. So
Mm,
like listening to a certain type of music, it's just like like they're listening to it to kind of reflect that this is who
mm,
I am. Like identify. Oh, I guess so. Maybe people follow because they want to like kind of like assume that identity, right? Like because
100%. Yeah.
listen to XXS and Kanye because they're just like, like if I listen to it, this is a part of me. I'm like a part of something. It's like a sense of community too.
100%. Yeah. And that's the thing that a family or maybe a more tighter knit community would have
Yeah.
given people back in the day.
Yeah.
That's kind of been we're kind of separated from each other, and we've circumvented that by being online, but it's not equivalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I feel like we're all just like thrown into this new world with technology, and it's just so different than how we lived for like thousands of years. And we have all kinds of crazy things going on right now. So we're living
Mm.
in a very interesting time.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Like,
it.
yeah, like yesterday I was on live. I do live streams like as often as I can. And I was on live and somebody had told me to react to a video, like a
Okay.
podcast. And it's actually a really good idea, this podcast channel. It's called OPL, Other People's Lives. And then people call in with like their weird stories about how they live. And one of them that I can remember now is there was a podcast I saw that like they were talking about that they were in a slave master relationship or something. But not slave master, slave yeah, slave master relationship in a relationship. I don't know. I just saw the thumbnail, but that's like giving you an example of the kind of podcast it is. Anyway, this guy told me to react to a podcast about being an incel, and he called in this podcast show, and it was like his struggle with being very good looking, smart. Like he got a scholarship to a pretty decent at the University of Alabama,
Okay.
but he couldn't fuck. So I feel like I was going through the live stream and I was kind of making comments and shit. And then halfway through the live stream, this guy's like, yeah, the guy that called into this podcast is me. And I was like, oh shit, no way. Anyway, so we get to talking. And then
Yeah.
the day after I had him on the podcast and he was just saying all the things that he said on the sorry, I had him on my live stream, not on the podcast.
Okay.
We were just talking through stuff and he's like, bro, I can't have this in my direct circle of friends because of the judgment, people trying to hack
Right.
like crabs in a barrel mentality. People are, and that's why the technology is beneficial in one way, but also very detrimental in a lot of other ways.
Yeah, I think we just need to be watchful and we need to be vigilant and be careful not to like have it be detrimental.
Mm.
Um, it's so easy to just go on your phone, man, and like just use it for like 3 hours at a time. Like so much going on, man. Like you could literally like go on your phone and read any book that's any book that's been written in like recent history, or like well, there's like thousands of videos like pornography, like so many different things you could do. So it's like
Mm.
I think the way that I perceive it is just like there's bad and there's good, and we just need to focus on the good and try and like get the good from it. So I think there's like that big debate on whether like technology is good for you or bad for you, and I think that it just depends on you. Like if you use it the
100%.
right way, then it's good. It's on you.
Yeah, but even then, like the bad things are all part of the process as well, because we don't grow from shit unless we get like actually like we get negatively impacted. And just wait till the metaverse comes out, bro. Then it's gonna be really like, then it's gonna be fucked. Like some Ready Player
That
One
is
shit.
that is going to be interesting. I haven't done too much research into the metaverse, but I've heard stuff and like also artificial intelligence and shit like that. And it's like sex robots and stuff like that's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
crazy.
Like some
Yeah.
Blade Runner shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. But like
Maybe in our
people,
lifetime, it's the next like 15, 20 years
yeah,
sooner,
maybe,
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. But philosophers have been talking about it for ages. I literally learned it in school. I did philosophy for one semester. It was all right.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how there's that's like the skepticism thing. It's like, how do you know that you're not in a reality that's indistinguishable from um real life? Like what is real, basically? That's what the question is.
Right.
And even
Yeah.
people like Elon Musk and should have said that it's
Living
literally
in
an inevitability, right? There's
yeah.
going to come a time where there will be an indistinguishable escape.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, man? Like, I think, Frank, I had a period in my life where I was just like asking these big questions all the time. And I was just like very like existentialist. But the way that I see it now is that all I know is that I'm going to be alive for the next 70, 80, 90 years. And that's all I know. Like, I know the physical reality. I know that I have a body. I know that I have life right now. I know that I have friends. You know, I'm in reality right now and 80 years of life. So, like, if I like question these things and dwell upon these things, like who really, like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, is God real? You know, maybe not, but it's like what matters is that I'm here right now and
Beautiful.
I just get the most out of my time while I have it. So that was kind of the flip that I had, where I went from existentialism to just being happy and like being grounded and focused.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But I mean, I think those questions are just so like interesting to ponder, and I feel like it's just so easy to like fall into it and even like get nihilistic and shit. But like, man, just know that you have like anybody watching this, you have 80 years of life right now. That's all you know, and you need to make the most out of it. So how do you go about doing that?
100%. And the thing with nihilism is that it's completely justifiable. That's the funny part. You can like chalk up your life to being meaningless and therefore nothing matters.
Yeah.
So why I should do anything? But the same thing go like you can. It's just about perspective, right? If you look at it
Yeah.
like nothing matters, but you're a superhero. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
video on this, and I don't really know how to talk about this topic per se, but
Yeah.
people that are suicidal, right? And I know it's like a kind of a taboo subject, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But you can either view it as like, damn, I'm suicidal. Like, there's no like, what else do I have to do? I just want to end my life. Or you can be
Yeah.
like, bro, like, I literally want to kill myself. I know this sounds kind of stupid, but that is the biggest superpower because at any point you can just like that's the kind of perspective shift that I kind of bring to things.
I think I get what you're saying because it's just like I have nothing to lose, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So why not just take the risk and do whatever I wanted to do,
Yeah.
type thing.
100%,
Yeah,
man. Hundred
there's like a
percent.
level of intelligence that comes from that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
But like, I'll find a nice way to articulate it so people don't get upset at me or too upset at me. But
yeah, yeah. Gotta be
it's
careful,
an
man.
inevitability, mate. It's an inevitability these days. So
You think so?
yeah, people get upset at anything, bro. As long as you are putting forward your opinion, people will get upset.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, man, everybody has their own perspective to life. Like some people view life so differently than you do, and they're
Oh
just
yeah.
gonna completely disagree. So yeah. I feel like I don't know if we've been exposed to that too much right now because our audience is just so like relatively small.
Mm,
So much everybody that watches us are people that kind of share similar views and stuff like that. But that's not really something I've really thought about yet. It's
mm.
more of like a long-term thing. But yeah, definitely there's gonna become a point that people just disagree with you.
Yeah, yeah, 1,000%. That's the inviting conversation. But also, my audience isn't small. I'm trying to speak it into existence. Our audience, like, imagine somebody watching this 10 years in the future. They're like, oh shit, that's where it like Nabeel came from. Holy fuck, like, you know what I mean? And at that point, you're like,
Yeah,
I'm saying.
do you believe in like manifestation and law of attraction and stuff like that?
I always say it, so people that really like have heard me say it will probably just be like, oh, here we go again. But the thing that I believe, secondarily to all like the universal like spooky laws and shit, the
Yeah,
thing that you can't look around and see anything that wasn't predated by thought, right? Everything begins in here, in the brain of a human. Everything in our reality on the earth, as opposed to nature. Um, but the first thing that happens is thought. And where does thought come from? It comes from intention, and then it gets materialized into expression by the way I speak, the way I interface with the physical world, and then it becomes a thing, right? So everything is up here. And that's why I'm really careful, or I should be really careful of exactly how I speak and the things that I identify with. Like I am this or I am that. I have this, I have that. Because everything is here first. Like I keep saying the same shit, but I feel like it's
yeah,
good. But people are always we'll talk about it in terms of getting financially rich, right? People are rich
right.
in their mind long before they're actually rich in their pocket, before they have the money to actually like
Yeah.
to spend. You know what I mean? What about you? What are your thoughts on the whole law of attraction shit?
Yeah, man. I don't know, to be honest. Like a lot of successful people that I've been around, I feel like have very, very positive mindsets. I've been around people that are fairly wealthy. Even being around Hamza, for example, like he has like a level of like goal obsession where he's always thinking about his goals and he's thinking about
Mm,
them in a very positive way where he like visualizes attaining them and affirming that he's going to get them. So I personally haven't really done anything in terms of like the law of attraction and those types of things. I haven't really ever done affirmations or visualizations, but from the people that I've seen that have found success, like they kind of apply those principles. So maybe it's something I should kind of get into and start doing.
100%, bro. You got to be like delusional. I'm for like the majority of people, I say some delusional shit because I just live in this
Oh, yeah.
world that I want to be in. I'm living in the
Where do you
future,
want to
kind of.
be? Where do you want to be in like 10 years from now?
Where do I want to be?
Yeah.
Uh I feel like I will. I feel like I already have a pretty decent audience, and I will. It'll just continue to grow because I'm fucking
Yeah.
obsessed with it right now. I can't stop. Like it's literally what I
Really.
get up and do. I just can't stop it. It's
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And it's I just love the creative aspect of it more than not,
Yeah.
like more than anything. But in 10 years, I honestly don't know. Like it'll be important. Like I'll be like, yeah. I honestly don't know because I'm not trying to say anything that I'm not completely attached to. But the main thing is that, like you said, we're here in the like here and now. Anything
Yeah.
that's happening, and I really am a big believer in the deterministic aspect of things. Like I believe in free will, obviously, but I feel like I have a
Yeah.
set. I don't know. I know this kind of sounds stupid, but I feel like I'm here for a reason, and I'm set on a specific pathway, and I can waver from that pathway, what you would call fate, with the actions of my free will. But I feel like
Mhm.
I'll always go back to the thing that I'm supposed to do in this lifetime.
Yeah.
I feel like it
Interesting.
will be impactful. I don't know why I have this feeling. It's just like it sounds like I'm egotistical or whatever, but it's just the way I'm fucking wired, bro. I don't know.
That's awesome, man. No, I think it's good to be ambitious with your goals, man. It's so important to think big. You're never going to be successful, like greatly successful without thinking big.
Mm,
Like no, like it's like no successful person thought small. If they thought small, they wouldn't be like where they are.
100%.
So I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah. What about you, bro?
Same kind of story right now, man. Like I have like
Mm.
a 3 year vision, but I'm not thinking 10 years down the line yet.
Bro, I'm
Uh,
not thinking like 3 days down the line. I like don't know what I'm
really,
fucking. Yeah, no,
really.
I just like
You have like do you set goals in like a 1 year horizon, 2 year horizon, or anything like that? Or no, not at all.
not what I. This is how I live my life. I think of some shit. I send myself a voice message, and then I make the video about it. Like in the car on the way driving back home, because I had like I'm an English tutor, so I was tutoring a student, so I had to come back.
Yeah.
On the way, they had like this. They had like a. Bro, I hate talking about all this shit, but I'm sorry I had to dump it on you. But they're talking about like the school shooting shit, and I had just a thought
Okay.
about it. I wrote it. I like was like, bro, my thought
Yeah.
was that the media kind of proposed like is a massive proponent in all of this shit. Like if they didn't get any attention, would this shit even be happening? I don't know. If you want to talk about it, it's up to you. But
Interesting. Yeah. No, no. I've heard that theory before. And actually, like we had a debate on that in like my fucking like 10th grade English class. So,
yeah,
um, no, it's something that people have been saying for a long time, man. But it's like that. It's just the nature of life, man. Like even COVID, for example. Like, you could say that COVID became a big thing. Can we not talk about COVID on YouTube or something like that? I heard that like it's bad to talk
yeah.
about.
If you
Yeah.
say anything like against the established order, you get like flagged. I
Yeah.
literally have. I didn't. You know Von Cut by any chance?
No, no, I'm
I
not
did an
familiar.
interview with him, and we were talking about like the injection things, and I got
Yeah.
fucking community guideline strike. I was like, bruh, and it's there
Yeah,
forever.
man.
But yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just you can say whatever you want. I'll just blur out like the important stuff.
I was gonna say was that, man, like COVID became a big thing because the news kept talking about it. But the news it's a business. They need to make money
Thank you.
and
Yeah,
shareholders, and the way that they do that is by talking about it because that's what the people want. And so it became a negative feedback loop where people were a little fearful, but they got way more fearful. Uh, and it became a bigger thing than it needed to be. But it's just kind of how the world works, man. The news like they're gonna report mass shootings because that's what gets watched. Like people want to see that.
yeah.
So
But my thought about it is more that we give our consent to what we consume. You know, and the fact is that when you go on Facebook, the things that
yeah,
promote hate, division, fear, all that type of stuff.
people want to see.
Exactly. Yeah. And the
Yeah,
more that people resonate with that and put their opinion and consent to that, because by interacting with something, you're giving your consent, regardless of whether you have like you agree with me or not. It's just the truth.
yeah.
When you interact with
But
something, you're giving it consent to exist in your paradigm.
yes, that's exactly it. And the issue is that most people are not really like conscious. Like most people are just going about their day. Kind of like people say like the matrix, like they're just like living life. And so they're not
Mm,
really like conscious about what they're doing and like how they're living their lives and how that might have like consequences and impacts. So
yeah,
like, that's just the nature of life, man. It's just it's how people are. There's nothing we could do about it. We could just focus on ourselves and conduct ourselves in the best possible way.
exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because I turned off the radio because I was like, bro, it's Steve's listening to this right now, and then I thought,
Yeah.
huh, imagine if everybody just did the same thing that I just did right there. Then there would be no like, no one would really have any incentive to write a fucking 10-page manifesto and then go like kill fucking children. It makes no sense if there's not getting
Yeah.
any attention for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I know that was probably took a wrong turn, but that's all G. What was the original question that I was answering?
I don't remember. Oh,
Yeah,
I think
dude.
you're answering your vision. Like you don't plan 3 days in advance. Like everything you
Oh
do
yeah,
is
yeah,
just like,
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm just very focused on right here and right now, and yeah, I see things, but I never like would bother to like. I've done it a couple times. I'm not like,
yeah.
but
See, I've lived like that before. I think maybe it's one thing that's different between how I did it and you were doing it is that you have like an obsession of YouTube, which is larger than yourself that you're working towards.
mm,
So you're grounded through that. But for me, when I didn't have goals and I didn't have a plan, then I just kind of like was flowing with the wind and I just
mm,
went whichever direction life put me in without actually being intentional about things. So I think for me, setting a vision, setting a plan, having goals, it keeps me grounded.
thousand
Um,
percent. Yeah.
yeah.
But like even before I had YouTube, I was always or like I had this as an like an expression outlet. I was always kind
Yeah.
of searching for something. I was always, on the internet because I'm looking for something to fulfill that kind of void. And it started with like me starting like in like year nine or something around like a clothing company or and then starting like
Oh
an
yeah.
Instagram thing. It's always just
Yeah.
like it's like a mixture of being industrious and it's just always something that I was looking for in terms of I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of
Really.
people feel it, but they don't know how to get it out.
Yeah. Why do you think that you have this need to stand out, stick out?
I don't know. I don't.
It's just you've
I
always been that
question
way.
it. I question it. Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I wouldn't say it's a need to stand out. It's a need to just I just have something in me and I need to get it out. You know what I'm saying? And I want
So
to
you just need
monetize that.
a need for expression.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
interesting.
I
Have you
don't
ever
know.
done like an MBTI, like Myers-Briggs?
Yeah, yeah. Ages ago, but I kind of forget. I think maybe I was like an INFJ, but don't hold me to that. I don't know.
Yeah,
What
fair
about
enough.
you?
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I'm pretty interested in psychology and like human behavior and how people think and stuff like that. And I did it a few times. I've consistently been getting ENTP recently, which I like in some ways. I guess maybe if you don't really know too much about it, I can't put too much context into it. But the one thing I don't like about it, if anybody watching this knows about Myers-Briggs, is that I want to be more like structured. I'm trying to like move towards a direction of more structure.
Mm,
ENTP people of my personality type are more spontaneous and move with the flow and stuff like that.
mm.
And that's what's natural to me. But I'm trying to like implement more structure into my life right now. So.
True. Is there like an
Um,
archetype associated to that? That
Uh, the archetype, the name for it is, I think, the debater.
yeah,
So, have you seen The Office?
yeah, 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 a little bit.
So like Jem would be an ENTP. You've obviously seen Batman, and I'd imagine like Joker would be like an ENTP, but like more of like a villainish ENTP.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a few different examples. Or like it's more like people that think a lot and like are like big picture minded, but also very spontaneous and extroverted.
Yeah, true, true, true. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's basically like scientific fucking astrology, basically. Like,
Is that what you think Myers-Briggs is?
I feel like there's some similarities, but I wouldn't say.
I I don't think so at all, man. I think that nobody can fit into a box. I wouldn't box myself as an ENTP.
Mm,
I wouldn't box anybody with their Myers-Briggs, but I think that you could have an understanding of how they would kind of maneuver and how they'd react to different things based upon their personality archetype.
yeah, I buy that 100%. And but it's also the pitfall is that people, like you said before, people are really struggling or really want to identify with something. You know, there's like the people like I watched this. Do you know Gerber Johnson?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen some of his videos. I fuck with his content. It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, he's funny as fuck. Yeah, he just did
Yeah,
like a video, literally talking about how all these TikTok kids have so many things that they like identify with, whether it be gender, Myers Briggs, astrology, sexuality, all these type of boxes that they meticulously try to put themselves in, and
yeah.
it comes to a point where it's like, bro, you're stressing too much about
The thing, the
identifying who
thing,
you are than being who you are.
the, the thing though with Myers-Briggs that's different to the other ones, like zodiac sign is just when you were born.
Mm,
Other things are more arbitrary, but with zodiac sign, like you're or with Myers-Briggs, you're answering a set of questions, and based upon that, you're being put into a certain like general direction. So again, I wouldn't like be like this guy's like an ENTJ. He's always going to act this way. You
yeah,
could
yeah,
just like understand how he would think based upon um, their archetype.
There you go. No, I
I
do.
think
I
there's
definitely.
to a degree, I think.
Sorry, say it again.
I think there is a level of validity to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, no, 100%. It is
Okay.
kind of. It was developed by psychologists, right?
Honestly, I don't even know.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
just
it
like,
would have been.
yeah, probably, I'd imagine so. It's just a personality test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Myers Briggs. Yeah, I just feel like it's so funny when those we see those like just they're just trying to fit it like in to whatever box they can, and I feel like that's because of the lack of sense of belonging. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess they get like a level of community through identifying with different things.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
kind of content do you mostly watch on YouTube, or do you even watch YouTube these days?
Yeah, dude, I kind of like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see who I'm subscribed to. Recently, I've been watching more like motivational videos. Like Dan Pena has been somebody that I've been watching a lot. I like watching like long form like podcasts a lot too. Um, Hamza, obviously, I watch him. I got to support the boys.
Yeah.
Um, I like Sneeko. I don't know. To be honest, I don't watch YouTube super often now, but when I did watch YouTube a lot, like the ones that I was like influenced by the most was people like Sneeko and Joe Rogan. Um, School of Greatness was like a podcast that I liked back in the
Mm,
day. I don't know
mm.
if you've seen that.
Nah,
No. Yeah, it's
I
like
gotta suss it.
yeah, it's just a nice podcast. He just has some good guests every now and again.
Yeah, that's always the fun, like the best part, I guess. That's like the thing that Joe Rogan kind of revolutionized is just getting people on and having facilitating discussion. Second to none.
Yeah, dude. I also like what's that new guy? I think his name is Steve Bartlett or something. Steve Bartlett. But he's like a digital marketer. He became a millionaire by 25, and then he decided to create a podcast. And it's like more of a business podcast, but I've been exploring that content as well.
Mm. Nah, yeah, it's sick.
Do you think people should watch like YouTube? Like, do you think YouTube is a good use of time for most people?
In terms of like what entertainment or education,
And just in general?
do I think it's a valuable? That's a good question, bro. I don't know. Uh,
Because a lot of self-improvement YouTubers go through this dilemma where it's like you're creating videos for people to self-improve, but then after a certain point, the more you consume the content, the more you're just in like a state of like perpetual
yeah,
just consuming when you should actually be producing and being out in the real world. So
yeah, but you
kind of in
can't.
the same case in a way. So like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, true, bro. But the thing is, you can't. You can only lead the horse to water. You know what I'm saying?
Could only lead the horse to water. What's that mean?
Maybe that's only an Australian thing. It means that you can. It means you can show people what to do, but you can't get them to drink. Make like basically, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't get it to drink. Can't force it to drink. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 So like you can say, and it's good to because when we're doing this, we're not only is it beneficial for everyone watching, but it's beneficial for us because we're consolidating all the things that, all the beneficial things that we've learned by teaching it, right? And
Right.
that's good. That aspect of it is good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's all about like the perspective and the mindset of the viewer, and you can't that you have no hand in that. That's up to them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't feel
Personally,
guilty.
no, I don't feel guilty. It's more of it's just like an interesting thing to think about. Like
Yeah,
you're
100%.
you're making content for people to improve, and then like after a certain point, like they're not actually getting any improvement. But I also think that like a level of repetition, like just like hearing the same thing over and over again and just having it repeated is also useful too. So I think it just goes into self-awareness and just asking yourself, like, are you actually like benefiting from what you're watching, or is it like hindering your life? And
Yeah,
that's
big
just
time.
on the yeah.
That is like one of the things, major pitfalls of the self improvement thing. But honestly, I'd prefer it to still be there than not, even if people
I think
fall into the hole.
I think it's very important. I think it's extremely important, man. And I think that like because these videos that self-improvement YouTubers are making, like people can connect with it. They have like a level of community, and they might not like especially like Hamza. I'm thinking about Hamza when I'm saying this, but like
Yeah.
um people that watch his videos, man, like a lot of they their lives literally change, right? Like they went from people that didn't really like do any good habits, and then they get inspired by a couple of videos, and now they're going to the gym consistently. They're working on their mental health, and overall the direction and trajectory of their lives are just changing. So definitely think that it needs to continue being invested in.
Yeah, 100%. Because I'm just gonna take on my audio real quick, but you kind of went through that epiphany and that transition
Yeah.
yourself, or just with the people around you. But like you said, some people, or like we've been talking about, some people don't have that. Like some people need to be told, or some people just have to have it facilitated in a like this kind of
Just
forum
giving
for them
them hope.
to think
It's
about
giving
it.
people Yeah, it's giving people hope, man. Because like some people are in positions where they don't really have too much hope. They think that their conditions are not going to change, and they don't have control over it. And I think that that's just like completely untrue. Like
Yeah,
you
bro.
have full control over the life that you live, man. Like you could live whichever life that you want to live. It's all up to you. And I
100%.
think that's what people like Hamza do, man. Like people like he speaks very authentically about how he used to be, and like how his life changed, and like shows exactly what he did to create that, and so people can identify and be like, okay, I could do it too. So
100%. But that was like the guy.
that's,
That was like,
that's all I'm trying to do, man. Like that's what I'm trying to do with my videos. I just, I need to
nah,
like
bro.
I need
This is the literature, like the thing I was talking about before. You're not trying because trying is failing. You're doing it, bro. Already. You're not trying to do it. You're doing it. It's working already. You know what I mean?
keep calling me out on that, bro, because it's just like
Yeah.
a thing that you don't do without realizing. But it is
Exactly.
very, it's valid. It's super valid, man. When you start to like assume and believe, then you start to carry yourself more into that area. It is important. So yeah.
100%. But yeah, that was like the incel guy I was talking to. He was so like caught up in the fact that, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it, I'm failing, all this, like the negative mindset. Like, bro, and this is just an art, like a weird example, but bro, you can look at being a virgin as like a disability, or you can look at it as being a superpower. It's up to you. And that's the thing that
uh,
what you're doing is
it's
helping with.
it's all mindset, bro. It's all mindset. Like you could even like look at. I made this video today. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow, but the idea of struggle, like struggle is just a part of the human condition. Like everybody's gonna go through it, but you could look at your struggle in a positive way, and the way that you do it is by focusing on how it's going to make you grow and cultivate your character into a better person, right? So right now you might be going through maybe heartbreak or relationship, whatever it may be. You could either choose to sulk in that, be sad about it, or you could choose to be like, okay, like this happened, it was shitty, but look at all the things I'm going to learn from it, and then focus on like what it's going to make you, and kind of how it's going to grow you.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of other avenues you'd see yourself providing content through, like any other like methods of making videos, maybe a bit more experimental or something like that? I don't know.
No, yo, dude, it's so interesting you say that. I wanted to like say this to you, but I really like I fuck with the type of videos you make. That's the type of content I think would be cool to make, because it's like you said in one of your videos, it's like you make these videos, they're replayable. Like you could watch them again and again. Like Sneeko, some of his older videos, you could still watch them and you still draw inspiration from them. And it's also like way more creative, and it's like a creative expression. So like I think that those type of videos are really cool. The thing is though, the videos that I'm making right now, where I'm just talking in front of the camera, they're way easier to make. So it's like less of a time commitment,
Mm.
and my channel is still growing through it. So I'm not sure if I want to do it this way, where I kind of gain an audience. And then once I have an audience, do more creative videos where I put way more thought and intention into it, have it really like highly edited
Mm.
and more replay value type video. But I think that's where my interest lies. Like I'd want to make videos like that eventually.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Because at
It's a
that
big,
point,
or like how many hours do you spend on a lot of the videos that you've been making?
bro, honestly, there was a period where I was learning and it took a lot longer. But now that I'm kind of used to it, I literally have an idea for a video, write it, do it like a voice memo in this, write an arbitrary dot point script,
Yeah.
film it, and then edit it, and within 24 hours it'll be out. But that's only because I've gotten to the point where I know how to edit like pretty well. You know what I mean?
Fair. Dude, I fucking hate editing.
Yeah,
That's the one.
it's
It's I need it. I feel like once I get an editor, that's when I can kind of move more into that direction.
100%.
Um, like I don't enjoy editing. I enjoy like talking. I enjoy coming up with ideas and that type of thing. But if I
Yeah.
could get a good editor, then that's when I think my channel could really grow.
Oh yeah, that's I view it the same as like music production. Like right now, I know how to produce and I know how to like rap. Like I know how to say the shit on the camera and I know how to lay it out so it sounds good. You know, make it so it's more palatable or more replayable. And that's the way I view it right now. So I feel like the quicker you could get a producer or like an editor, which is the same. It's like equivalent thing.
Same
The
thing.
better
Yeah,
the
yeah.
content. Yeah.
Do you enjoy the editing process?
Uh, yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I can edit and it just time just goes so quick. I just love it for some reason. Yeah.
Fair, man. To me, it's just like so meticulous and so like
Mm.
detailed. It's like, you know,
What software would you be using?
I've tried iMovie. I've tried like the one that everybody uses. I don't even remember the name of it now, but unexpected.
Premiere.
Yeah, that one. So I've tried. I did edit my videos before, and I like put way more intention. Like the videos aren't even up now because they're just so bad. But like,
Yeah, yeah,
I did like try and do that type of thing. But I'm just not an editor, man. It's just I don't enjoy it. Like I fucking it's
yeah,
like hours would go by, my eyes would be like so red after, and I just feel like completely like, man, where did the time go?
yeah.
So
Million
yeah.
percent. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I understand for sure. That's like me with pretty much everything else. Like just a like school and shit. Such a drag. Like yeah, I know it's not cool to say, but it's not
Is
positive to say.
is YouTube your thing? Like YouTube's like the thing that you want to like go all in on, or you're going all in on?
I think I don't really. It's not the thing that I want to. It's the thing that I just found myself doing. Because like I've tried to go all in on different things, like whether it be an Instagram account trying to blow it up, or trying to do a clothing brand, or whatever it is this is just the thing that I've gravitated to because I think it lies like a lot of my strengths lie in communication or like saying things in a simplified way. And then I
Yeah,
had to pick up the skill of so like the thing is like the pathway is very interesting because in discovering all of these things, like the Instagram, for example, I had to learn Photoshop. So Photoshop I already learned like rudiment, like just basically 2 or 3 years before I even started YouTube. But then I already had that in the bank. And then all I had to do really after was kind of I had like cracked Sony Vegas, so I just got like some free version and then
yeah,
just started like doing it, you know. And then after I got it, that kind of the hang. Actually, the process that I actually took was through that Instagram account. I was working with someone who wanted to do podcasts. Again, I was like really about making money because I was like what 16, 17 or something at the time.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, bro, I'll edit your podcast. It was the shittest like, experience. Like it was the worst thing ever. Like this boring ass podcast. I'm just like sitting there chopping out the ums and the ahs.
That's
But
what I
because I
mean,
was yeah,
man.
but
Yeah,
that's because I was making money. I kind of like got over that kind of boring thing. And
yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
because I'm doing it because I know how to do it and I'm doing it for myself, it's a lot more entertaining.
Fair enough, man. I think the idea of editing, like when I did edit videos, I liked the idea of like just the creation because it's like you're putting together a video and you're like compiling it in a way that like flows and like creatively like looks good. It's like you're putting something physical out into the world, and like the entire process is done by you. So
Yeah.
I can understand like why you'd like enjoy editing, but like for me, I think that if I hire somebody who can do it way better than me and I could like it's somebody that I could collaborate with really well, I
Mm.
think that's what I need. That's really
Yeah.
what I need.
Because at that point
Yeah.
it's kind of game over. Like all you got to do is record, send it to the person, and like you've
Yeah, man.
established a relationship, so they know the vision.
I feel like with the story I have, like life experiences I've had, and like with just like I think my ideas and stuff, I do think I can make really good videos. It's just a matter of like
Yeah, bro,
putting
thousand
a lot
percent.
of thought into it and like energy into it. But I've been like, to be honest, like I want to take YouTube. Like I keep going up and down where like I have periods in my life where I'm just like, bro, I want to go all in on YouTube. Like when I was in Thailand with Hamza and Sam, I was just like, bro, like I'm gonna go all in on YouTube. That's all I'm gonna do. I made like a video every single day for like a week and a bit. And I was like, wait, I don't know if I want to be a YouTuber anymore. Like maybe fun. So it's just like I keep going back and forth between the two. But yeah, it's early, bro. It's early days. I've been doing this for a few months. Maybe it'll come into fruition where like eventually I'm just like, yeah, this is it. But like I'm going back and forth right now.
100%. That's the beauty of it. Like pretty much anyone can do it, and I feel like
Yeah.
you already have the good ideas, and you seem like a pretty well-rounded kind of educated guy. I don't think it will take as much time as you'd think to actually do it. I think people, if you're like a perfectionist and you want to get like really stuck into the details, it probably would take a while. Or if you're doing like
Yeah,
a really long project. But the thing that I found is that the shorter, sharper, straight to the point, but funny videos where you're actually saying something of value are the ones that do the best. And those kind of like you just have like the ideas for those videos I literally get by having conversations with people like you, people
yeah,
like my friends were having like kind of just debates or just kind of that type of stuff. And I'm like, that's a good idea or a new perspective I never thought about. I'm like, oh shit, there you go. And then you just put it out there, get it on the camera, and then the editing is the thing that takes fucking years. Like that's the thing that.
yeah,
But
man.
if you have an editor, then
That's it's game over. Yeah. So if anybody's watching this and wants to
yeah,
edit, hit me up.
yeah, big time, 100%. Are they even expensive? I don't even know. I probably could do editing like as a.
I've heard that like to hire like that's one big reason I want to get an editor is because like I have like I can make money through sales and I have like the opportunity to do that. So like the amount of money that I could make working sales would be more than how much it would cost for me to pay an editor. So I
Mm.
could pay an editor and put my time into sales instead, and that in the end make more money than I'd save if that makes sense by
Yeah, no, no,
spending time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting into kind of like and I didn't really want to do this willingly, but I've kind of forcefully been getting into the Andrew Tate rabbit hole, and like I was getting recommended so much Andrew Tate content right now. Um,
Okay.
and he
What
was
are your
like,
thoughts?
uh,
It's like
in my most recent video, I talk about toxic masculinity, and that's kind of my thought. I feel like being the toxic like black pilled sigma male alpha like works, but
yeah,
is it fulfilling? I'm not sure. For me, it wouldn't be. For him, maybe it is. But anyway, he was like, he was talking about this thing about he never saves. Like his whole life, he never saved money because even if you saved as much as you could, if you lived in for free, if you had all these expenses for free, you wouldn't be able to save as much as you like. You wouldn't be able to save basically as much as you need. So he lived
yeah.
a big lifestyle. They always lived very lavishly, him and his brother, and because of that fact, it motivated him to get more money. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. I kind of have like a similar mindset, man. Like I feel like right now I could be I think that the thing is you want to increase your cash flow and make your cash flows as big as possible. With like the level of cash flow I've had for the past few years, like I could invest it into like crypto and shit like that, and maybe I'd make like a few thousand, maybe like 10,000, 15,000, whatever. But that's not like life-changing money.
Mm,
Um, I used that hits home because like I used that money to travel. Like I was making money and I just spent all of it to travel. So I traveled for like what 5 months 5 6 months in 2021, and I had like some people around me just be like, invest that money, but I was just like, nah, man, I'd rather like spend that money on travel, have like great life experiences, and pretty much invest that money into myself and grow my
100%.
own. So definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's and basically that's just like if you're gonna boil it down, it's pretty much just an abundance mindset if you really think about it.
Yeah,
Because
because
like
like, bro, if I didn't travel, for example, I wouldn't have a lot of stories that I now share on my YouTube channel. And now, if my YouTube channel blows up, then like the amount of money that I made through ultimately traveling and not
mm,
like investing those like few thousand into crypto
yeah,
will,
bro, I lost
so
money on crypto. I'm never fucking putting money in crypto again, bro.
really,
I'm like, yeah, I got burnt, and I don't really like because the thing is, like I said, I don't really plan shit, so I didn't really research, and I kind of just put it in, and I was like, I don't make money, and then I just because I'm
uh,
not the type of person that will like sit there and analyze shit because it just does my head in. But
yeah.
yeah, have you been successful?
With crypto, I've never invested in crypto, bro. It's something that I've like kind of like been following more recently, man, because I want to make money. Like I feel like my goals, like I'm shifting more towards like a money orientation now.
Mm,
Where like I feel like in the past I was like more so just like being social, enjoying life, traveling, meeting new people, that type of thing. But now my main kind of vision is just making money and like kind of elevating in that area. So I've been like looking into crypto and shit. Like people keep saying that's like now is like a good time to buy. Because it's like starting to like level out. I don't know though. I don't know. I don't have I'm not investing in it right now.
yeah, true. Yeah,
I don't have investments in.
Yeah, I lost
Yeah.
2 grand, so I was pretty actually probably more. Probably like
2 grand, really? That's brutal, man.
yeah.
That's
So
brutal.
it's like, and it's not because crypto is bad. It's just because I'm fucking retarded. Like
Dang,
honestly,
it's
yeah,
timing. Did you pull out of it?
yeah. I pulled out
Or
before the big crash. Otherwise, I would have gotten really fucked. But
oh, okay, okay.
yeah. But the way I look at it is just like this. It's kind of like fucking gambling. It's not really making money, in my view. Like you're just putting your money into the computer, into the machine, and fucking doing this. So like
No, man, I'm not an investment guy. I wouldn't say it's like gambling though. No, it's not gambling, bro. It's like bro, like if you invest in the right time, it'll probably go up.
yeah,
Like I think like now, if you invest now in like a 5-year horizon, it will go up
mm.
for sure.
Yeah. No,
But
this is the truth.
I'm not
Yeah,
an investment guy though. I'm not an investment guy, so I wouldn't know.
yeah. Not financial advice. Hold on, my little brother's at the door. Hold on one second.
No worries.
Yeah, he's funny as he's 5 years old. He always comes in here and just like wants to play and shit. So
I had when I was 22, my sister was like around 5, 6, so I had the same
there you go.
experience.
No way. That's crazy. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fun though. It's fun. Keeps you young, like
yeah.
mentally. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have like a mentorship role towards them?
Nah. I'm kind of a bad influence, honestly. Like in
Really?
terms of like if you ask my parents, then yeah. Because I just kind of just because I don't feel like as though I'm like obviously I like will give him valuable information. In terms of
Yeah,
how I act, I kind of just act like his friend less than a mentor. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because he has 2 parents to be his parents. It's not my job.
That's for sure. You're just like the cool big brother.
Yeah,
Just
basically. But as he gets older, then I'll probably be a more mentor like. You know what I mean?
fair, fair.
Yeah.
So you seem like a very like a very like creatively oriented person. Have you like
Uh,
been like very creative, or like is something that you kind of grew into?
yeah. I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like I always have been. I just didn't know how to express it in
Interesting.
my younger life because you don't really. I don't know. I just didn't really have any. Didn't come across many avenues where I could express any like creative things creatively. But also, I went through kind of like a shift maybe 2 years ago where I kind of just changed as a human being, and then it kind of
Really
put me on a different kind of pathway.
interesting.
Because I was always a lot more logic based, like left.
Really.
Yeah, yeah. I always just was like very straight to the point. Not very like I was never really. I didn't really. It's not that I didn't feel emotion. I just didn't really give them as much value as I would maybe give them now. If that makes any sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're more like I think like it's left brained. I think which is more like logic and stuff.
Mm.
And then like 2 years ago, you flipped more into like emotional and like
Mm.
creativity and
I think what happened is I balanced it instead of flipping it. I think because I was very left brained, and
oh
then I kind of integrated the right shit into it. And now it's because it's all about balance, right? You want to be as balanced as you
yeah,
can. Yeah. So I guess I kind
interesting.
of just came across that balance, and then maybe because I was so logic in that way inclined for that for
Like you need to like up the other side of you. Okay, fair enough.
yeah,
Fair
yeah, yeah.
enough.
I feel like that
So
maybe
from my perspective, like I don't really like know you too well. I just know you in the frame of this conversation and like some of the videos I've seen. But
mm,
you seem like a very like creative type. Like in terms of like just like the way that you dress, like even you said that you just like have this need to like express yourself always and
mm.
like the type of videos you make, like the fact that you like Kanye and like the shoe and like all those different
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It seems like you're a creative type. So
yeah,
interesting to hear that you were not that way before.
yeah. It is actually. I never really thought about it, but yeah, it is. Also, I kind of just have a really nice appreciation for fucking dope shit. It just is so nice when something is well crafted and you just like, damn, that is elite. And I also like looking at things behind it. How did that go? Like, what went into that? How did it eventuate?
Who are your like top three like rappers
Rappers?
or like musicians?
Um, yeah, yeah. Probably. So Kanye definitely probably. I like Joey Badass a lot.
Yeah.
Um, or like the kind of older, like the Jay Dilla is sick, Jay Z, all the J's. um,
What's your favorite Kanye album?
I hate when people ask me this question because I don't know.
Really?
I think it's either graduation or the college dropout.
Okay, interesting.
What about you?
Interesting. For me, it would be uh it's hard to say, man. I feel like it also just changes all the time.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I think maybe The Life of Pablo is a good one because it's just like a good mix of like a lot of different types of sounds. So I
100%.
like that. It's
Yeah.
an easy one for
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It is pretty dope. But it's more like the energy around the things that I kind of enjoy. Because like when he makes something like the college dropout, right? There's just like
Yeah.
this aura uh of
I know what you
potential.
mean. I know exactly what you mean, bro. Because it's
Yeah.
like when he made the college dropout, he was like around our age. He's going
Exactly.
through this experience of like being like a producer. I'm sure you've seen Genius, but like he's going through this energy of like being like a producer and like not really like people weren't respecting him as a rapper and everyone was
Mm,
just like, oh, you're a producer rapper type thing. And he just had to like really like put a lot and he just like had like the car accident too. He almost died. And he's like, I'm alive, I didn't die, and all these different things. And he had to like
yeah.
prove himself. So yeah,
Yeah.
I fuck with Stop Out, man. It's a good album. It's timeless, bro. Like released in like 2004 or something like that, but like I still listen to it even now.
100%. Yeah. Do you like that kind of genre of music? The kind of, I
Uh,
don't even know what to call it.
yeah, I mean, I listen to all kinds of music, to be honest. I would say Kanye West is probably my favorite rapper. I think I like. I've been listening to Jack Harlow recently. I feel like he's making good music.
Yeah. Have you
Um,
seen his old videos? They're hilarious, bro. That's so like,
the other
yeah.
ones,
The old ones where he's like a kid, like he looks like a nerd, bro. It is so inspiring.
yeah. I did see that. I did see that, bro. I think it's cool to see. That's one thing that's really cool about what we're doing right now because it's like we're doing this video and it's just like so like maybe like 400 people might see it, 500. Who knows how many people are going to see it? But it's like if one of us like sticks onto this and like does really well at it, like 5 years down the line has like fucking 5 million subscribers or some shit like that, then it's like you could like look back into this video and like see how we thought
Yeah,
at like your age. So
100%.
yeah.
Two things. It's not if, it's when. And fuck, did I forget the second thing? Fuck. Wait, what was the second thing? Oh, that's yeah, the time capsule element. So fire. It is elite. And even for you as an individual and me as an individual, you're
Yeah.
like, damn, what was Nabil like 15 years ago? You go, oh shit. You put on your little metaverse goggles and you're looking around in the fucking pod, and like you're in this room or in your room, like, and you get to see everything. You're like, oh shit, that was me. And then you either go, damn, I thank God I changed, or damn, I should be. That kid had some knowledge, That guy had some knowledge.
1,000,000%,
Stay
bro.
true
Like
to
that.
it.
That's one of the things I'm like. That's why I like putting videos out because it's like I get to look back at this and also like kind of like motivates me. Just even talking about this, it like motivates me like put more effort into them because it's like right now I'm just like recording and talking. I want to like maybe like put more effort into it so it's like I can look back at it and be like, oh, like I actually like tried really hard on that and like kind of have it out there. So
100%, bro. 100,000%. But people will respect it and like resonate with it regardless, because you have the thing that people try to fake, and that's like the message. It's like the experience. People always try to make shit cool, but don't have any experience or actual wisdom to back it up. Like you can get the
yeah,
fancy editing, you can get all that. That's like just financial. That's all you got to do is pay for that, right? But to have the actual
yeah.
experience, to have the mind frame, that's the priceless thing, and that's what you
Dude,
got.
honestly, like be completely frank with you, like I don't get it sometimes. Where like I'm making videos, I wasn't even expecting them to do like I mean, they're not doing really well by any means, but I get people DMing me and shit and like being like, oh, like your videos are really inspiring me and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's insane that somebody like actually like watched my video and
Mm,
felt the need to like DM me on Instagram to say that. And
yeah.
the fact that having that amount of impact on just like maybe like I think like maybe 7 people have done it in total by now, 7, 8, something like that. But it's just like
Mm.
the fact that like even that amount of people have been impacted by my videos is crazy to me
Bro,
because
it is
I don't
big. What
think
do you mean? It is like you said. They're small. It's big. People like real life people are telling you that you're fucking inspired. That is that's the goal, really. That's
yeah,
sick.
I love that shit, bro. I love like whenever I get any of those messages, fucking keeps me going, man. Like I was with Hamza, bro. This guy, he like anytime he opens his phone, bro, he has like at least like 20 people, 20, 30 people that have, so that's like my frame of reference. But like he has
Yeah,
like
yeah.
20, 30 people that are DMing him every single day, being like, yo, you changed my life and all this different things. So Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's cool. It's cool leveraging technology in that way.
Yes, sir. The tool,
Yeah, man.
using it as the tool, not the device. You know what I mean?
That's it, man.
Yeah.
It's producing rather than consuming.
Yeah. That's, I guess, yeah. See, that
Yeah.
kind of thing that you're institutionalized almost to do as a human. Like you follow the 9 to 5, like the normal path, and you're just made like a fucking you're made to consume things. You're never really made to, or you're not really promoted or motivated to do it. You know, outside of people like us, like just grassroots people from the real world, these companies just fucking that run the world, they just want you to continually mass consume because that's what's beneficial for them.
That's exactly it, man. I think that with the way that everything is structured, from a young age, you're like just set to be a consumer. And a few people break out of that kind of trajectory. And I think it's important too. I think that when you're conscious, that's like when you're conscious, you break out of it. But it's interesting you bring that. Have you always kind of thought in that type of way, like when you were in school and stuff like that? Like, did you kind of just like follow along, or like were you more to the no, like this is more, did you like question things, or like no, not really?
Yeah, I'll give you like a really interesting like my experience. So,
Yeah,
and I think I've recently figured out where it comes from. So I'd always been somebody that was intensely contrarian, always like just wanted to be separated or different or not part of the done thing for whatever reason. I think for the most part, with like some introspection, is that I really just have a fucking problem, not a problem, but just like like, sort of like a friction or an abrasiveness with authority. Like
yeah,
authority, when people tell me what to do, I'm just like something inside me, maybe my ego or some shit is just like raging. And
yeah,
that kind of turned me into a major skeptic. Like I was very skeptical of everything because the second you find out that one thing is a lie, like what's a good example? Like if you go to school, go to college, you have a happy life, like the American dream type of thing. Once you
right,
find out that one thing is a lie, a lot of things start falling away. So your trust in the way to do things or the society that we live in falls. And then
yeah,
with that becomes comes the sort of skepticism, like if all of these things that everything that everyone is telling me, all of these truths are not actually true, what is? So then I kind of started going down the rabbit hole of like I got really like into the conspiracy shit and I was like really hounding that type of shit. Like
I have conspiracy face too, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I spent a fucking shit ton of brain power just like thinking about that.
Yeah,
And and then yeah, that was basically to answer that question, which I kind of forgot what it was. That's basically the journey that I went through because I was
fair.
always just like it was biological because I was always like contrarian from the start. Like I never wanted to, but there's also that environmental thing of like, damn, I this place that we live in is so fucking like everyone's just lying to each other. Everyone's like
Yeah,
propagating this lie because that's the way that you're supposed to live, and then we're just all okay with it. I don't get it.
yeah. For me, it was like I had like strict parents growing up, and they just like set some rules that I, in my mind, was just like, that's so stupid. Like, why?
Yeah, exact same. Yeah,
And then from there, it just kind of grew where I was just started like questioning things that I disagreed with. And yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. And I also had the same thing. Like I had like like somebody showed me like Illuminati videos and like
yeah,
fucking grade 6 or some shit like that. And then I was just like, I went down a rabbit hole for a bit too in that
yeah.
direction.
Bad, but I feel like overall it's beneficial.
I think overall it's so important to question things, man. It's so important to question things because if you don't, then you're just following the crowd. You're just like
Mm.
you're not really like living in tune with what you actually value, what your ideal self is. You're just doing things based upon what you're programmed to do. So by questioning, that's when you kind of break out of the programming that society conditions you into.
Yeah,
But I think with conspiracy theories, bro, like interestingly, like to bring to kind of like I've stopped looking at conspiracy theories entirely recently because I feel like it's just there's nothing you gain from it. Like it's just like yeah, like it's interesting, but it's like there's nothing you could do about it, right? Like you don't know for sure. You don't know if it's objective. It doesn't really like influence or impact your life that much. and it's just out of your control. Like it's just like something that's like larger than you in a way. Same thing with politics, bro. Like I don't, I had like a phase where I was like interested in politics. I thought it was cool. It was just like cool to know like what's going on around the world and shit like that. But I was like, now I'm like, bro, like I'm not trying to be a politician. Like
Yeah.
this is not something that I'm trying to like work in. So it's like, cool. I could have all this knowledge about politics, but like, it's not going to like benefit my life. It's not going to benefit anybody else's life. So it's like, it's pretty much just like entertainment for adults, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've said that to some people and they've been like very offended by it. They've been like,
It
bro, like
is, bro.
you need to vote and like all these different things. But it's like, bro, like I don't care, man. Like I'm not trying to be a politician.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. It's funny how people get offended at that as well. Like, oh my, like you don't care about the world? It's like, no, I just don't understand why you put your energy into something that's at the end of the day fruitless, you know?
Yeah, man. Like, look, if you're gonna be a politician, fair enough, bro. Like, if you're gonna be a politician, you should know everything about politics. But it's like, I'm not trying to be that. Like, that's not the path that I'm trying to take.
Mm.
And me, like, being educated on this, it's not. There are gonna be enough people that are educated on this that will actually like care about it. I don't need to be that guy. Like, there's just nothing I gain from it. I'd rather like focus on my own self improvement and like give back to the world based upon like making my videos and like ways like that.
Yeah, that's the way to go, bro. Because at the end of the day, if there's one message that I ever wanted to spread on YouTube,
Yeah,
it would be that um the only way that you can change the world is by changing yourself. And
that's that.
that's exactly what you just like the concept that you just brought up. So it's the only way to do it.
Yeah, so true, so true. Like,
Mm,
it kind of goes into like people that want to change the world, but they have so many issues in them their own selves and complexities in their own lives that they're not really like paying attention to that they should focus on first before they start to like diagnose all the problems around the world.
100%. And all these things that they use to cope, like the conspiracy stuff, for an example, it just further
Yeah,
like propagates the confirmation bias. It's all like a lot of these things when you really break it down, it's just the shifting of blame away from you, the person who's consuming it, to something else. Because like every time you watch politics, it's always, oh, it's the politicians. You watch the conspiracy theorists, oh, it's the Satan or like the Illuminati. You watch
yeah.
like stuff like that. It's always blaming someone else.
There was this post that I read way back. I think it was like 2019 or around
Mm,
the time Trump was running for re-election. But I don't know if you're familiar with like QAnon or like some shit. Like there's like a bunch of conspiracy theories around Trump,
mm,
and there was somebody who was like so invested in it and he's like making his entire life around it and like focused on like the travel ban and like all these like different Trump policies and like campaigning for Trump and all these different things. But like he himself had like a broken foot that he couldn't adhere to. Like he literally had like a broken foot
mm,
and he didn't have like the healthcare to pay for it to get his foot like his feet healed.
mm.
And he was like so invested in like all these politics and all these things that were like larger than him, but he himself was like depressed and sad and like had like a broken ankle and like he couldn't even walk properly and shit. And like it's just like it made me realize that like why do you care about politics when you like literally like need to like focus on yourself?
Mm.
I don't know if I'm making sense right now,
No,
but
you are
like that,
100%. Yeah, you
yeah,
are. It's
yeah,
just it's because that's the thing that gets him angry, and then he uses that to blame.
yeah. Like
And I
what
feel
you
like it's just like the energy that's been redirected because of the fact that a lot of things are fucking bullshit when you really look into it. A lot of things don't
yeah.
really make sense. It's just that the feeling of frustration and anger is redirected into the maybe the wrong places, but not necessarily the wrong intention.
Yeah, interesting. So
Mm.
one thing that's interesting, we're pretty much just saying that there's like a set of people in the world that don't really like think consciously and just go with the flow and like they're effectively like just in the simulation, let's say. How many how many people would you say fall into that? Like if you had to like put like a percentage wise, like how many people would you say are like out of the matrix and like think more like kind of what we do? And how many do you think are like still in that like kind of falling into these issues and stuff?
All right. One, I don't know. Two, like I'm
Yeah.
just going to preface everything because I'm pretty much just speaking from, I don't know, something that's not really empirical knowledge. But two, I feel like that is a lot of the premise of like any spiritual war. I feel like there's a tradition, not a tradition, a transition that we're going through right now by virtue of these chaotic times, because what is born from chaos, it's always something like chaos generates things. It's a generator. Like we can't have the Big Bang without fucking a massive explosion. We can't have the world, sorry, without a massive Big Bang.
Yeah.
I feel like the chaos is leading somewhere. And I feel like there is a battle between two forces, call it light and dark, call it negative influence or positive influence, that are trying to, battle for your attention, battle for your to who you're going to follow. I feel like right now we're in a transitional phase where a lot of things are being uh, brought to light. Like it's like we have a way more open communication through stuff like this than we ever have before, right? And there's no way that you would have had like a conscious awakening or whatever you want to call it in the Middle Ages when the only way you could fucking like talk to people that weren't around you was with like a fucking like a the Harry Potter pigeon thing, the fucking Hedwig, like an owl or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you know what I mean? Dumb example, but I feel like the trend is that the more people are becoming connected to this type of information, the more people are saying, "Oh shit, this is the first time I've ever resonated with something with my being, as opposed to just with my logical brain." You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like there is people that are trying to manipulate that process through technology, and there's people that are trying to do the opposite, like manipulate.
Mhm.
Well, they're both trying to manipulate it, but one for nefarious purposes, one for not. Whether that's working or not, either way, I don't know. I can't really tell, honestly. But I feel like the trend is that people are coming to waking up out of their NPC like shells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I definitely agree. I feel like more people are way more conscious
And
these
that's
these
what me
days.
and you are propagating, and everyone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we say that, right? We say that, but one thing we also have to ask ourselves is that like we could be living consciously in some ways and also like not really like knowing which ways we're not living consciously because just the nature of it is you wouldn't know. So it's like you have to keep questioning yourself, like the things that you do, like the decisions you make. It's just like perpetually questioning it because if you don't, then you could maybe like not really actually be as conscious as you think you are.
Yeah, but even
So
you, by virtue of saying that, that is it comes from pure intention, from purity of heart, right? Because the people that don't want you to question anything are the people that want to control you or manipulate you for some sort of benefit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So like even that is just like what we're doing from pure intention, which was the way that humanity kind of started, bro. Everything starts from like anything that's worth its fucking weight, like anything that's beneficial starts with a pure intention.
you think so? Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And then along the way, it might get manipulated into people with other purposes, other plans, or whatever. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, the happy ending always occurs. So, and we're just the fucking like us doing things and saying what we think. In a certain moment in history, that would have been like unprecedented. People would have been like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? No fap. What are you fucking shut the fuck up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
they don't want you
yeah.
to be a leader, and we are teaching people to be leaders or sharing our experience of how we are going through that kind of hero's journey.
Very, very well said, man. Very well
Mm,
said. It's very well said. I agree.
yeah. But at the same time, there's still fucking NPCs running around like shaking their fucking streetwalkers.
I, I think, man, like I think it's with technology, man. Like I think in one hand, it's like it depends on how there's no way of knowing for sure, but it feels like you could have more conversations like this with more people, but at the same time, the people that are more of like the NPC type, they're going further into it. Like I don't, I'm just kind of spitballing right now, but I just feel like the people that are like naturally like not as conscious,
Mm.
like they're becoming more and more and more unconscious and more controlled. And the people that are like more questioning and skeptical, they're moving more and more into that direction as well. So people are just becoming more polarized
true. That is like the duality of it is sort of a theme that I picked up on. Maybe if we wanted to like put it into numbers, we could say that maybe at a certain point, there was like 20% people that have pure intentions, or 20% of people that are what we would call aware or awake, aware of
Okay.
things, conscious. Maybe 20% of people who are actually we'll put aware on both ends of the spectrum. Awake
Yeah.
for positive purposes, awake for negative purposes. Then you got the
Yeah.
60 who could sway either way. Maybe if you
Yeah.
wanted to say it like that. And that's what's happening. People are swaying either way, which is what you just said.
Well, I don't even know if it's 20%, man. Like I feel like for me, like right now, I've worked corporate before and I've worked the 9 to 5 before, and I just feel like I don't know if it's just me, man, but it's like I can't imagine how people do it. Like
Yeah.
you're going to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, right? And you're around the people that you work with more than your family and the people that you actually like.
Mm,
You don't really like your coworkers that much. You're just kind of there with them. You're working together. You're working and you're doing something for not yourself. You're doing something for a corporation, an entity that's you don't really have any ownership in. Your entire life is dedicated to it. You don't, most people don't actually enjoy what they're doing. And then all their energy is put into it. By the time they get home, it's 5 p.m., 6 p.m. with the commute. And now you're have all these like errands and things that you need to do around the house, and you're tired and you just like you don't want to relax. You watch Netflix or some shit like that, and you just like keep doing it over and over again. You do that for most of your life, man. You're working for 40 years, 50
mm,
years. So
mm,
like your entire life, that's what you're doing. And then that's you live, you're born, you go to school, you get like conditioned into working the 9 to 5. You work the 9 to 5 for until you're 65, 70, but when you can't work anymore. And now you're just, ready to like you've lived your life. Now you're just an old man. And I feel like that's the life that most people are living. And I don't know if I should be like, that's not the way that I want to live. Maybe it's arrogant for me to be like, oh, like I don't want to be that way. Maybe I should like be a little bit more receptive towards it. But to me, it just seems like so like why would you do that? Like what it I mean, some people need to, like my dad, for example, like he immigrated from India and he needed to provide. And so they have like children and stuff like that. But like me
mm,
being young and not really being tied to anything right now, not having any children or really any real responsibilities, I want to like cultivate a life where I don't have to do that. I think that
mm.
like, I can't imagine it, man. To me, that feels like you're not really awake when you're doing that.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, I guess
maybe you do it for a little bit, man. Maybe you do it for 3, 4, 5 years, and then you like do a side hustle to like get your way out of it. But
yeah.
like doing that for like 40 years, 30 years, like that's insane, bro. Like most of your life is just dedicated to a corporation, dedicated to some kind of job that you don't really like. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah. Bro, I'll show you something which I came across. I don't know if you've seen it, but I saw this post and it was like talking about how people back in the medieval era only worked or had holidays of like 150 days per year so that they wouldn't revolt. Like
Wow.
yeah, so it's like it literally is like that analogy of the frog in the I don't know if you've heard this, but the frog in the pot and they're slowly raising the temperature so the frog doesn't notice that it's being cooked. So it feels like
Yeah,
slowly over time.
dude. I
But
think I think
squeeze.
everybody watching this video, Frank, me, like I think what we need to do is figure out a way not to like fall into that. Like we need to figure out a way to make money and be self-sufficient without needing to resort to that. Because dude, eventually you need money to survive, right? And you need survival. And that's like the last resort. Like hopefully you don't need to fall into that. But if you could figure something out that allows you to do that, that's your ultimate goal, man. Like I guess we're trying to do it through YouTube right now. If that pans out, that would be way fucking cooler than working a 9 to 5. Like you're inspiring people, you're making videos, you're creating, way sicker. But we all need to find our own way, I think, to do that. And
100%.
maybe some people might actually enjoy their 9 to 5. Like my mom's a doctor. She enjoys medicine. That's like a passion of hers. So
Yeah,
you
but
could find
she's probably getting paid like a lot to do that, yeah.
yeah, she's getting paid a lot to do that. She had to like put a lot of time into it though. Like it's like a long road to get there.
Mm,
But she enjoys it. So it's like, if you enjoy your 9 to 5, fair enough. But it's like most people don't enjoy that shit. Most people don't enjoy what they spend their entire lives doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Between sleeping and working, you get like actual fuck all free time.
Dude, your entire life revolves around work. Because I'm telling you, man, people that I worked with, they'd be too tired after they get home to do anything. So
Mhm.
they just consume and watch Netflix and something like that, which they just do that to like relax and unwind for the next day. And the
Mhm.
weekends, they just have all these responsibilities and like chores and shit that they need to do around the house. And like most marriages, they're not even happy with the people that they're with, bro. They're married and it's like unhappy marriages, so many divorces going on, all these different things. It's like, that's scary, bro. Like, I don't want a life like that. I really don't. I like that. It's not an option, bro. I'm not going to allow myself to live like that.
100%. Yeah, that's elite. And that's like the reason if you um look at like the early days of my channel, I would have mentioned it a couple of times that I started the channel for the reason, and this was at like mind you, this was at like the zenith of my conspiracy phase, like right around
Yeah.
2020 and shit. But I was like, I want to be able to have a place where I can live like off the grid. So I was like making a YouTube channel to make to foster a community that would maybe one day be living in a like self-sufficient kind of way, like from the earth, where we still have things of value, we still use currency and stuff like that, but we're not dependent on anyone for the necessities. Because the way you look at it, this is because what I learned in those like the conspiracy era was that the relationship between maybe like a governing body and its people is like a
Yeah.
parent and child relationship, right? The government is the parent, and they say to you effectively, if you want to use our water that we provide to you, if you want the food that we provide to you through the shops and stuff, if you want to use the electricity that we provide to you, you're living under their roof, so that you can't, if they do something that you object with, you can't say anything because you're living under their roof. If you don't like it, like just like your parents say to you when you like want to do some shit that's against the rules, then move out. Then you can do what you want. And that's the kind of mentality that I had with it. I was like, damn, I want to be forced to do things I don't want to do ever. Because I'm like just me by virtue of me being against authority figures or contrary, like just abrasive with them, that's the mentality that I had. And that's the thing that I initially started the YouTube channel to try and cultivate. And I feel like that's maybe the long-term goal.
Yeah. Really, eh?
Mm,
That's interesting. That's super
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
For me, I just want to, I want to spend my life working on something that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about, that is aligned with my values and like my ideal self,
Mm.
and travel, man. I love like exploring, and I've traveled quite a bit so far, but like I want to just do it like full time and just like bounce around countries like 3, 4 months at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah, like feel like it'd be cool.
that's why the passive income shit is pretty sick because you can make money from anywhere in the world. And actually, the funny part is like the more interesting places you go to, the more money you probably make. So it's
Yeah, yeah. I've considered like being like a travel YouTuber for a bit, but I feel like you wouldn't enjoy the travel if you're a travel YouTuber. Like
mm,
I wouldn't want my work to be travel, because it's like you like same thing with like gamer YouTubers, bro. Like back in the day, like I don't know if you ever had a phase where you wanted to be like a gaming YouTuber, but I watched a lot of I made YouTube videos with video games and shit like that, but like
mm,
it was so little, like I think maybe like 5 people watched it, but like um a lot of gaming YouTubers, they don't actually enjoy video games anymore after like a year, 2 years into it, because they're just like they're playing video games for the sake of content. So
yeah,
it'd kind of be the same with being a travel YouTuber.
yeah, true. I don't really. It's not like the most interesting part when you have like it's not very interesting when you have to document it all. Maybe if you had
Yeah,
someone following you around documenting it for you, that'd be sick. But
yeah,
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 but
yeah.
yeah,
We'll see.
interesting nonetheless.
Hmm.
Um, should we wrap it, or do you want to keep going? Because I could keep going. I got time.
I don't really have any commitments, man. Is there anything that uh any other like questions that you had, or like interesting directions you wanted to take it?
Um, Not really. We kind of went through them all basically, like naturally, which is usually what happens anyway. But I just kind of have topics and stuff to just to like just in case I need to remind myself. But yeah, bro, this is definitely like to any up like people that want to do YouTube, I would recommend doing interviews like this, like just in general, because the thing about what I was saying before about how like understanding how things work from the background. You reach out to people, like you don't ask, you don't receive. You just ask people that you're interested in, people that you generally have a passion with. Like that's how I got the interview with Stephen Smith, the Yeezy guy. I just DM'd him on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, I like because I have the shoe that it's one of my favorite shoes that guy designed." And then I find
Right.
out that he's designed shoes for 30 plus years for Adidas, Nike, Reebok, all the major brands. And I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy's," and like he's reasonably accessible through the internet. You know what I mean? Like when like what other time period can you do
Dude,
that?
you should come on to my channel sometime, man.
But yeah, we'll
I
post
want
this
to
on
start.
both channels.
Yeah, man. I think yeah, I should start probably like doing more interviews and shit because I haven't really like done any really. So
Because it's relatively easy. Yeah, you just get your laptop, open Zoom, and then record. But yeah, we'll post this on both our channels. I think if you wanted to do that. But I can come on your channel anytime, bro. 100%.
yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. It's nice
Yeah.
talking to you, man. You're like a cool guy.
Likewise, bro. 100%. Likewise. That's why I DM'd you because I was like, yeah, this guy's he knows what he's talking about. So
Which video did you like? Which videos of mine have you seen? And like, do you have like any like advice on them or like thoughts?
advice. I don't know. I'm usually the one that's asking for advice, but the only thing that I would probably say to you is like you just got to follow what you like to do. Like
Yeah,
if you want to do interviews, interview people that you're actually genuinely interested in. And that's why I
yeah,
DM'd you. That's why I DM like the easy guy. And that's why I DM all the people I talk to. And it's just kind of following
right.
your passion, right? And if your passion is like obviously your passion's not editing, so you'd want someone to do that for you. You might not be in a position to do that right now, but getting there is that's the thing that honestly the thing that I've figured out like because I studied the shit. I'm obsessed with it. Like I can't stop. I just want the shit to
Yeah,
get traction. The thing that
yeah,
I've like realized, which I put it in a video, but I think you would have. I think it was the same video you referenced, so you would have seen it. It's just retaining people's attention because people have the fucking attention span of like an avocado, bro.
right, right.
Yeah. So the editing
Yeah,
plays a massive role in that. Like I like honestly, me being the person I am, I'm always on this shit or on the laptop doing something. My attention span is broken, bro. I like, and that's kind of good for me because I get to understand how people where people lose their attention. But also when you
right.
make your videos, consciously look for the moments in the video where you yourself lose attention in what you're doing. Because that at
Mhm.
that point, if you're losing attention, then 100%, you know, the people that don't even know you or are cold to your videos aren't gonna want to are gonna want to click off. Because it's not like a
Okay.
movie. When you go
Do you
to a
like
movie
watch? Do you like rewatch all of your videos like several times over?
in the editing
Like,
process, yeah,
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, true.
yeah, but like sometimes I do as well.
I literally like just like have like an idea, something I want to talk about. Like I usually get it from like people that I speak to on the day to day, or like a book that I read or something like that. Literally
Mm.
just like record myself and then post it. Like there's no editing process for me right now. So yeah, maybe I could benefit from that. But
Pick
yeah,
it up, man. It's not. It's honestly not as hard as it seems. It's kind of just laborious, which you probably know. But
yeah, yeah.
the thing about YouTube, remember when you asked me the question about do I think YouTube is beneficial for education? You can learn anything on this fucking website. It's crazy. You can go through a college degree on this website.
It's insane, man.
Mm.
Yeah, there's videos for everything.